some protective gloves. We'll set this over to the side for now. Before you paint anything, and really, I do this a lot with inexpensive props. If this were actually like $200, I probably wouldn't repaint it, but because, you know, I got it for about $5, it's okay to take the paint. You guys are probably thinking, why make a video about painting just an object? Sometimes when I go to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Home Goods, they have lots of tchotchkes and decor where the form is awesome, but the paint job sucks. So with this one, there's not really any shadow to it. There's nothing special to it, which is why I think it's okay to paint over it. So let's start with the initial coat. So what I'm doing now is I'm just dusting it off pretty much, getting a dry brush, making sure it's all dusted off. I know a lot of paint projects where if you don't sand it, the paint will come just right back off. In this case, no one's going to be really touching it. It's going to be up on a shelf. We just need to change the finish. Oh, that seems like a lot. Oops. All right, we're going to go in with our primer. So as I paint, you'll see that this is actually a gray tone. Let's start on the back just in case I mess up. Make sure when you're putting a primer on any object, even though it's matte, you still want to make sure that you're not putting too much on. It'll just take longer to dry. And because I'm not really covering up a dark shade, you don't need that much. Whoa, this is really getting everywhere. At this point, you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just spray paint it, right? Well, when you spray paint, the amount of spray that goes onto the object is crazy. I feel like when you use spray paint, you want to cover an entire surface and aren't really too worried about the texture. For here, because it's such a small item and I want it to look a little more handmade, the brush strokes and also getting into all the crevices and not having to worry about any buildup of spray paint dripping, or spray paint's very thick. So when it goes on, I feel like I don't have that steady hand to just get one layer. If you see, there's all of these little holes here where I still kind of want those showing. Makes it look a little bit more natural. If I spray painted this, all of this would be covered in, and then it might even look plasticky, which I don't want. I still want it to look like it's been broken off of a tombstone, but in a different shade, which is that Mars Black. As I'm doing this, I have a fan off to the side that is drying this as I'm going. So another reason why not to spray paint's expensive. It may seem inexpensive because it is like what, $4-5 a can, sometimes $6. But when you start spraying, sometimes you'll need to do multiple coats. That's where things get expensive. So as you can see, I'm not putting too much. I'm almost just like glossing over. Another reason to repaint store-bought items, 1,000 people probably have the same product, and just by doing this, you kind of make it one of a kind. Store-bought decorations are fine if you don't have the time, but if you can tweak them in any way, it always just gives that final touch to make it look, well, not like a store-bought thing. You know, also make it look probably more expensive. Not saying that expensive things are better, as we've seen with that Grandin Road catalog. Yeesh. We are elevating a store-bought item. It might even look a little bit more creepy with the black finish. Okay, I think I got all of the spots. Whoa, 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 wee, whoa. Part of using this brush and going over it, it leaves these kind of strokes, these brush strokes in it that give it a little bit more texture. I'm just making sure that the brush strokes look even as it dries. I'm wiping away any puddles. Getting under here. What I like about it is it gives it this kind of weathered look, like it has been outside for a long time. All right. You dry off and I'll be right back. Hold up, stay, and we're back. We are we're dried. So let's go ahead and continue with the finishing. Because I don't want to waste, let's just use the, gloves. And let's use the paint that was on the lid. And just want to kind of like, maybe this. Whoa, this happened. They always say, you know when to pull back or know when to stop. Yeah, we're going a different direction now. Latex gloves, latex paint, you get a little stickage. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, know when to stop painting. And there you have it. There's our finished look. Thanks guys for watching. Remember, like and subscribe or you'll see this in your sleep tonight. Just kidding, it's not done. So the texture is giving off almost like a wood grain vibe to it, which is looking pretty cool. It almost looks like this was made out of wood versus a concrete mold. What I'm doing is like the brush strokes, I'm trying to go with the gathering of the fabric. So if it's going up like this, I'm making sure to pull with that. It all just kind of flows together. I am mutilating this brush right now. Check that out. You see this texture here, how I kind of pull through like that. And then if I go back and kind of dab, you just get different feels. So you can get that, like a stipple effect, or you can just drag your brush and get, I feel like this kind of wood grain texture that I really like. All right, I think that's it. So what we're going to do now is let it sit and dry and sit and think about what it's done. Alrighty then. And maybe you will see him in another video coming up. But we're going on, this is 3 hours, but it'll be worth it. You guys will see. The amount of paint required. Whatever sticks to the lid. Literally. That's what you call being resourceful. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Be good.